Paritana Bhavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namah Namo Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhudale Srimade Bhaktivedanta Swamine Dinami Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pashyati Deshitharine Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhaktavranda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare. So Bhagavad Gita chapter 10 is about the opulence of the Absolute. Lord Krishna describes a few of his vibhutis here, okay, the opulences. Okay, so the vibhutis, okay, opulences, is explained in 19 to 42. So we'll finish 10th chapter today. Why? Because it's all different opulences mentioned in one word. Okay. Okay, so the practical application is that what is the use of knowing Krishna's vibhutis, which is unlimited, but then little bit we can know. So our limited senses do not allow for us to understand the totality of Krishna's powers. Still, the devotee try to understand Krishna because the very topic of Krishna is very relishable. Okay, and so appreciating the presence of Lord through his physical representation. That's why we should know the vibhutis. So this chapter is actually a theory, and 11th chapter is actually a practical thing. That is, he's showing the Vishwarupa, right? The Krishna is showing his Virat Rupa there. So before that, the theory is mentioned here. Okay, so Lord Krishna describes a few of his unlimited vibhutis here, opulences. So he'll give the theory today here, but the practical aspect will be dealt in the next chapter. That is the 11th chapter. Okay, so Krishna is going to tell his opulences, which is unlimited. Okay, Krishna says, my opulence is limitless. Okay, so it is unlimited, but then we can, with our tiny brain, we will be able to understand as Krishna reveals, right? So he is saying about his different opulences in verse 21 onwards. Okay. Also in 20, Krishna says, Aham Atma Gudakesha Sarva Bhutasya Sthita Aham Atishya Matyamsha Bhutanam Anta Evacha. I am the super soul Arjuna seated in the heart of all living entities. I am the beginning, the middle, and the end of all being. Why is Arjuna called as Gudakesha? Who knows? Can raise a digital hand. Why is Arjuna called as Gudakesha? Ankita Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Arjuna is called so because he is one who has won over sleep and ignorance. That's why this is
yes. So that's a literary meaning of it. But to be more specific, Supriya Mataji, sleep and ignorance, what else it means?
Hare Krishna Mataji. Today I happened to listen to the Gauranga Das Prabhuji's lecture where he mentioned Gudakesha, related topic, where he explained that Arjuna and the Pandavas were sitting and eating their dinner, and suddenly the wind blew and all the lights went away. So, but Arjuna continued to eat because he was able to see. And then he thought like, I'm not able to practice archery in the night because I'm not able to see. Now that if I can eat, I can also practice archery. So I will practice day and night. In that way, he decided, it seems. So one is he was able to see and practice day and night. And he has won over the sleep, and ignorance means he had all the knowledge what a devotee has to for performing the devotion, Mataji. He was faithful.
Okay, that is one aspect of it. Lavanya Mataji, okay, that's the one way. You can see even in the this thing. Then what else?
Hare Krishna Mataji. Arjuna is called Gudakesha because even in his sleep he is not forgetting Krishna.
Yes, very
That's
good.
why he is called Gudakesh.
Yes.
Hare
So
Krishna.
Prabhupada mentions that you know the pastime, that even in sleep, Arjuna was not forgetting Krishna. Who knows that pastime? Nirguna Mataji, you know? Anasri, you know? Lakshmi Mataji, Hemu Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji, this is the story when after the battle of Mahabharata, like after the battle, so Arjuna goes to Dwarka and he's resting. To Rukmini, she gives him the palace to rest, place to rest. And then also when Narad Muni and everything comes and says that even in his sleep, even his single strand of hair is calling out the name of Shri Krishna. So that is what it is, that even in his sleep, Arjuna.
What is that pastime? Okay, even in sleep he calls out Krishna, but then what happened? Nobody knows. Yes, Racheta Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna. What happened to you? You're not there. He went. Yes, Hemu Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji. If I'm not wrong, the story is that Arjuna had gone to visit Bhagavan Krishna in Dwarka, and he was taking rest. So they said that, okay, after rest, we'll have lunch. So one person goes there and calls upon to call Arjuna that come and have lunch, but the person who goes is not coming back. Then Narad Muni went there, he didn't come back. Rukmani went there, she didn't came back. So everybody was there, and Krishna said, what is happening actually? So everybody was there, and what actually was happening is that while Arjuna was sleeping, his each body pore was taking the name of Krishna, and they were so mesmerized and they were so nectarian they were feeling that they all were lost, that even in sleep Arjuna is reciting the name of Krishna. So that's the story I know, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Okay. Yes. So what happened is, as Mataji said, his hair, no? When Arjuna was keeping the head on Krishna's lap and sleeping, Narad Muni is like, it should be the other way around. Why Arjuna is sleeping in the lap of Krishna? It should be like Krishna sleeping on Arjuna's lap. Then Krishna is like, no, I am addicted to my devotees, or my devotees can control me. And Arjuna, even though he's sleeping, he's still chanting my holy name. That's because when Arjuna's hair was on the ground, and Krishna asked Narad Muni to keep that hair near his ears. And when he kept, he could hear Krishna, Krishna, Krishna. Even that hair was chanting. That means Arjuna is Vishaka Sakhi, definitely eternal associate of the Lord. But still, he have conquered sleep and ignorance, in the sense, ignorance, yes, because he's so knowledgeable. And another thing was what Mataji says, ignorance means darkness, that even in darkness, he can fight, or he has the goal and aim. And another thing is conquering, it also means that a devotee conquering sleep means even in sleep, as Lavanya Mataji said, even in sleep, a devotee never forgets Krishna. He always remembers Krishna. So that's the reasons why Arjuna is addressed as Gudakesha. You can see in the purport, Prabhupada explains here that Arjuna means Gudakesha, one who conquered darkness and sleep. And for those who are sleeping in the darkness of ignorance, it's not possible to understand how the Supreme Personality God manifests himself in various ways in the material and spiritual world. So I think I've shared the story once when someone asked Prabhupada, can you show God? And Prabhupada showed the sun. And what did he reply? Does anyone know? And Prabhupada said that's the eyes of Krishna. So that person is like, Krishna have only eyes? Yes, Prabhu. You are Achita Keshav, Prabhu?
Yes, Mataji. Yeah, so the story goes like this, that I'm so sorry for the background disturbance, Mataji. The story goes like this, like one of the Prabhujis asked, how can we see Krishna? So Prabhupada replied, Prabhupada showed sun and the moon. And he said, here are the eyes of Krishna, and the sun and the moon are the eyes of Krishna. So the Prabhuji asked, then where's the face of Krishna, or where's the body of the Krishna? Then Krishna said, then Prabhupada said, in that we are not able to look at the transcendental personality of Krishna, because of which we are in this Mrityuloka. Once we attain, the knowledge, that's when we'll be able to, look at Krishna. Krishna is all around us. It's just that we don't have the eyes to see Krishna.
Yes, very good. So as Prabhu said, so that person is like, oh, the Lord, I only have eyes because I can see only the eyes of the Lord. Doesn't that mean Lord doesn't have hands, legs and all? So Prabhupada gives the example of a cat. If a dark cat comes to a dark room, what do you see first? The eyes, no? So because you're in darkness, you're able to see only the eyes. Does that mean the cat doesn't have a tail and a leg and a hand? Because you are in darkness, you're not able to see the whole cat. That doesn't mean cat doesn't have a form. Similarly, you are not qualified, as Prabhu said. We don't have the qualification to see Lord. Premanjana Chirida Bhakti Vilojanena. So we can see only the eyes of the Lord, or in different vibhudis of the Lord. Here it says that among stars, Krishna is moon, right? Nakshatrana Maham Shashi. So when you see the moon, you remember Krishna, because that's Krishna's eyes. Sun, Krishna, that's so Krishna is manifesting in that form because we are not qualified. So Krishna is like, because we are, Prabhupada's like, because we are in the darkness of ignorance, Om Ajnana Timirandasya, we are in darkness of ignorance, in Tamoguna, we are not able to see the Lord. But we can appreciate things like this. So that's one thing. So Krishna is everywhere. He's all pervasive and all pervading, but a pure devotee can understand, see Krishna, like Srila Prabhupada. They can see acharyas, they can see Krishna, but then we can perceive Krishna in all these ways, the different opulences or the different characteristics of the Lord, or vibhudis of the Lord. So he starts from 21 to 42, all the opulences. So I will just go like this, okay? So Krishna's opulence is limitless. So Krishna says, I will tell you the prominent ones, okay? Krishna's doesn't mean Krishna have only this opulence. No, he has Shadaishwarya Purna, Aishwarya Virasya Samagrasya Shisasya Jnana Vairagya. He has all beauty, all opulence, all strength, all fame, all knowledge, all renunciation, everything. But this is what we can take. This unlimited, but he is going to say only the limited one. So our limited senses do not allow us to understand the totality of Krishna's powers. Bhakti Rasamrita in the Nectar of Devotion, Sri Rupa Goswami says, Ata Shri Krishna Namadi Napa Vedgrahim Indriye Sevan Mukhe Jihvato Swayam Eva Swaratita. Ata Shri Krishna Nama Adi. So what is the sequence in which Krishna reveals to us? What do you mean by Nama Adi? How does Krishna comes to us? What way? Those who came for today's Bhagavatam class can remember. Recheta Mataji?
By chanting of the holy name.
First is chanting. Second?
Chanting, taking the holy name.
Okay, first is chanting. Yes, Manasi.
Sankirtana Mataji.
Mataji by devotee association.
What are the four?
Shravanam, Kirtanam, and Vishnu Smaranam.
No, the four.
Hare Krishna.
First is name.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Hare Krishna Mataji. May I Mataji?
Yes, Professor.
Nama Rupa Guna Lila.
Good. Nama Rupa Guna Lila. First is the name. Okay, first name. Like first you know my name. Okay, I'm Aishwarya Subhadra Devi. You know my name. Then the form, you know how I look. The form. Then you know my qualities. Okay, what is she and that is. Then you know my past time, in the sense, what am I doing and things like that. So first you know the name of Krishna. You start chanting Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, 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 Hare Hare. Then you remember the form, the beautiful form of Krishna. Then the qualities of Krishna comes to you, get revealed, and last is the past tense. Don't artificially jump to the past tense. Okay. Now, Atha Shri Krishna Nama Ati, you will be knowing Krishna's name, form, quality, and past tense. Napavit Grahyam Indriya, this imperfect senses, with this imperfect senses, defective senses, we won't be able to, material senses, we won't be able to understand Krishna's name, form, quality, past tense. What should we do? Seven Mukhi Jihwad. You have to start your devotional service with your tongue, chanting holy name and taking Krishna Prasad. Swayam Eva Swareta, Krishna reveals to you. Like, I don't say my personal things to any stranger. No, once I become a friend and then I have trust in them, and then I say my personal things. Similarly, Krishna's pastimes are very personal things, and that will be revealed only to a devotee who is very close to Krishna. That's why in Bhagavad Gita, you never see about Radharani, you never see about Rajavasis or Vrindavan or anything in Bhagavad Gita, do you? No, it goes in Bhagavatam. Because Bhagavad Gita is an official thing with Krishna. It's an official, to know Krishna is the Supreme Personality Godhead. Like Krishna is calling to your office, his office. But in Bhagavatam, he invites you to his home, especially to Vrindavan, the Vraja. So here, Krishna says the different opulences. Okay, so he says our limited senses, we won't be able to understand Krishna's powers in total. So still the devotees try to understand Krishna because the very topics of Krishna is so relishable for them. And Vibhutis in this verse refers to the opulences by which Krishna can control the universe. So Krishna in this 20th verse says he's the super soul in everyone's heart. He's living in our heart as super soul. Which Vishnu is as super soul in our heart? Put in the chat. And what's the size? Which Vishnu out of the three is the super soul, and what's the size? So he says, I'm the beginning, middle, and the end. That is creation, maintenance, destruction of all beings. So what is the mood of understanding Krishna's Vibhuti? I said, put in the chat. So describe a few of Krishna's infinite opulences of Vibhuti. For easy readability, they are presented in a tabular form. Okay, here. So you can just go through it. For instance, when Krishna says he is sun among the luminaries, it means that sun is the chief of all the luminaries and represent Krishna's eyes. Even the powerful sun gets its power from Lord Krishna's potent energy. Okay, so we'll see one by one. Okay, so which Vishnu? Yeah, everyone wrote it right. Oh, you are getting confused. Supriya Mataji, I asked the size of super soul, not soul. Size of the soul is 1 by 10,000, the tip of the hair. Kesha Krashada Bhakasya. Here, Shraddha Mataji, the size between thumb and the ring finger. Good. Not thumb size. Rajesh Prabhu, he was the thumb size when he went into Uttara's womb, right? When Uttara prayed. But that was in thumb size. But Bhagavatam explains the size of the super soul is between the thumb and the ring finger, this much. It's almost approximately 8 inch. Shirodakshai Vishnu. Shyam Sundar form, Lakshmi Mataji, Paramatma is not. Yes, Krishna comes in Shyam Sundara form in pure devotees. Like Srila Prabhupada will have Krishna as Shyam Sundar form in his heart. But we are not pure devotees. So for us, Krishna is as Paramatma. As you advance in Krishna consciousness, Krishna's form, that Paramatma form can come in, like Hanuman. Hanuman have which form? Lord Ram's form, right? In his heart. So in that way, whichever form we are attracted to, that form Krishna manifests. But in general, Krishna is Shriradharsha Vishnu, the four-handed form as Paramatma, not Mahavishnu. Mahavishnu is Karanodakshay Vishnu. That's not the super soul. Karanodakshay Vishnu is the cause of creation. And then he comes as Shriradharsha Vishnu in our heart. Okay, don't get confused. Garbhodaksha Vishnu is lying in the Garbhodaksha ocean and whose navel the lotus come and Brahma is there. That's different. Mahavishnu is Karanodaksha Vishnu, Karana. He's the cause of all causes. Shriradharsha Vishnu is the Paramatma in our heart, and the size is between thumb and the ring finger, which is almost approximately 8 inch. Okay. Okay, fine. So here in the 21st sloka, Krishna says, Adityanam aham Vishnur Jyotisam Ravi Amshumam Marichir Marutam Asmi Nakshatranam aham Shashi. So whenever you see a full moon or something, just remember Krishna. When Prabhupada was going for an evening walk and he saw full moon, immediately, you know what Prabhupada remembered? Prabhupada's like, Nitai pada kamala kodi chandra shushitala. So he's like, see Nityananda Prabhu, Mahaprabhu, Nityananda Prabhu's lotus feet. It's like koti chandra shushitala. The glow, effulgence is like crores of full moon, that glowing. I mean, Prabhupada immediately saw the moon and remembered Nityananda Prabhu. We just see the moon and we just look at the moon. That's it. But here it says, Nakshatrana aham shashi. So we say, so moon is also among the stars. So in Aditya's, Krishna is Vishnu Vamana, luminary sun, Maruti is wind, Marichi, and stars moon. So that's how Krishna Prabhupada remembers about the moon. Okay, and once Prabhupada was going with his son, and the son says, Papa, the moon is coming along with us. So Prabhupada's like, see, he's also asking intelligent question. So the moon, it looks like coming with us, but it's not coming with us. Similarly, for devotees, Krishna comes with us, walks with us, but Krishna is there for a non-devotee. So the moon have a lot of comparison. Moon have a lot of spots in it, right? So what is it compared to? Does anyone remember the analogy Prabhupada used in some Bhagavad Gita? There are some spots. Yes, Manasvi, can unmute.
Spots on the rabbit.
Very good. The rabbit-like mark, okay, on the moon. What is it compared to? Yes, moons are the rabbit-like spot on the moon. Nobody remembers. These are all should be in the Bhakti Shastri's fingertips. Where is Shraddha Mataji? Yes, Mataji, you don't remember?
Sorry, Mataji, forgot.
Kanjan Mataji, okay. The rabbit-like spots on the moon doesn't affect the effulgence of the moon. Similarly, a devotee might have done some sinful activities, but it doesn't interfere in her devotional service. Or we should not evaluate a devotee based on that. The Krishna Prabhupada mentions this in that sloka. Kshipram bhavadi dharmatma shashvat chandi nigachiti kaundeya pradijanihi name bhakta pranashri. Which is that sloka 9.31, 30, 31. Up 30 is Apichet Sudaracharo. Shipram Bhavadi is 31. Okay, quickly he becomes. See the 30th sloka. See the 30th sloka purport 9.30. Apichet Sudaracharo. Say in the last paragraph, last but one, he says the rabbit-like mark on the moon. Such spots do not become an impediment for the diffusion of the moonlight. Similarly, an accidental fall down of a devotee from the path of saintly character doesn't make him a abominable. These are all Bhakti Shastri questions. You should be knowing the analogies. Rabbit-like spot on the moon. Okay, this should be in our fingertips. That will help you when you remember these things. You remember the analogy, so you'll never forget these. These are all classic examples by Srila Prabhupada. So don't forget that. And so I want to say something else about the moon. Okay, Chandra, right? So Gaura Chandra, when Mahaprabhu was appeared, what was it? Does anyone know? What happened on that day?
Eclipse, eclipse Mataji. Lunar eclipse Mataji.
Lunar eclipse, Mataji.
Hi Krishna, sorry for that. Yes, Kanjan Mataji, you can unmute.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Hare Krishna Mataji. It was full moon actually, and when Gaurachandra came, then full moon was very much shy, and he felt that who's going to see me because Gaurachandra is so bright in looking. So then lunar eclipse happened.
Yeah. So it was lunar eclipse. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. So everyone started chanting Hari Bol, Hari Bol. And it was lunar eclipse, but at the same time, it was full moon, right? Full moon night. And Gaura Chandra appeared. Gaura Purnima, we say. But it was eclipse. Why? Because moon was thinking, another moon. Moon have spots. So moon was thinking another moon, more effulgent moon, Gaura Chandra has appeared. Let me hide myself. So as Acharya's commentary on that. And once I also remember, Krishna compared Radharani's face to the moon. And Radharani became so angry. That's the Man Leela, transcendental anger. So he had the Man Leela. So Krishna is like, I compared you to the moon, which is the most beautiful. And why do you get angry? Okay. So yeah, so once Krishna compared Radharani to the moon, and then Radharani became angry. Acharya's comments the different reason. Why? Because the moon, you see the size of the moon, it becomes like half moon, then like Chandrakala, like when you say that that small one, and then it becomes Amavasi, where there is no moon, and then there is Purnima, there's full moon. That means the beauty of the moon is increasing and decreasing. Does the beauty of Radharani increase or decrease like that? So she got angry on that. And Chandra also reminds of Chandravali. Chandravali is another group of gopis opposite of Radharani. They fight. They just transcendental pastime. Right? For fight, Krishna, they fight. So Radharani gets angry when she hears about Chandravali's name. Another reason was the moon have spots. So Radharani's face is not like that. No, she doesn't have spots. She's Gaurangi. She's like golden effulgent. Right? Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi. So these were some of the reasons Acharya says that Radharani got angry because she was compared to moon. But Krishna is also Krishna Chandra. So whenever we see the moon, we should remember Krishna from now onwards. Then Prabhupada says you are Krishna conscious. Okay, because Rasoham Apsukamte, when you taste of water is Krishna. How many times we drink water? Do we remember Krishna? Prabhupada remembers. But these are the ways to become Krishna conscious. Even we can't see Krishna in his own original form, but at least he came in the deity form, Archa Vigraha. He also came in the holy name. He came as Bhagavatam, Bhagavad Gita. He also came as Guru, right? So he came as Titi, Ekadashi. He came as Tulsi. So Krishna comes in different forms. He comes as Mahaprasad. But so Dham, different Dham and all is Krishna. So similarly, Krishna is like the moon, okay? Nakshitranam Aham Shashi. So these are, you just know these are the opulences of Krishna. 22, he says, Vedanam Samavedosmi, Devanam Asmi Vashava, Indriyanam Manaschasmi, Bhutanam Asmi Chetana. Of the Vedas, I'm the Samaveda. Of the demigods, I'm Indra, the king of heaven. Of senses, I'm the mind. And living beings, I'm the living force consciousness. So it doesn't mean Krishna is Indra. No, Krishna gives the power. And Indra is a position. Indra is not a person. Like Brahma is a position, Indra is a position. If anybody does, what is the qualification to become Indra? Anybody can become Indra, all of us. But then what should we do?
Mataji, may I?
Yes, Mataji.
Mataji, the rule of eligibility of becoming an Indra is following the 4 regulative principles.
No. Just by following 4 regulative principles, you don't become Indra. You come to Sattva Guna. How do Prithu Maharaj? Anyone remember? Yes, Prafula Mataji.
Krishna Mataji, performing 100 Ashwamedha Yajna Mataji.
Very good. Not 100, 1,000, na?
1,000, yes. 1,000.
100 or 1,000? Yeah, I think. Okay, so Prithu Maharaj, I think 100. Don't remember. 1,000. Yes, Hema Mataji. Yeah. Ashwamedha Yajna is horse sacrifice, Minal Mataji, you're right. So horse sacrifice. So Prithu Maharaj, who was an incarnation of God, he was also about to do, and then Brahma came and stopped because Indra was conscious of his position. So if nobody becomes Brahma, Indra, the Lord himself becomes. So Indra is getting the power, you know, that Leela of Govardhan. That time, even Indra was puffed up by his position. He's like, every power is given by me. I mean, the rain and all, everything I gave. But then actually it's Krishna who's giving him the power. And also, so in that way, Krishna is giving the Krishna is representing Indra. Rudranam Shankarashasmi Vitteso Yaksha Rakshasam Vashunam Pavakas Chasmi Meru Shikharinam Aham. Of all the Rudras, I am Lord Shiva, and of Yakshas and Rakshasas, I am the Lord of Wealth, Kuvera, and of Vashus, I am Fire, Agni, and the mountain, I am Meru. So here it's mentioned the 11 Rudras, of whom Shankara, Lord Shiva, is prominent, and he is the incarnation of the Supreme Lord in charge of the mode of ignorance in the universe. So doesn't mean Lord Shiva is under the control of mode of ignorance. So he is the proprietor of the three modes, or he is representing the three modes. So he gives shelter to the Buddhas and ghosts and everyone, right? So, but Krishna says among Rudras, he is Shankara. So worshipping, because he is best among Vaishnavas, Vaishnavanamyata Shambho when you say, but it is actually the Lord himself. So there's a story, somebody was a devotee of, he didn't like Vittala, but he liked Lord Shiva, and he never went to Vittala. But then when his eyes were closed once, he was a goldsmith, and he was want to make a ankle belts for, a waist belt for Vittala. He closed his eyes and he was feeling Lord Vittala's body. He could feel the hair, the matted hair, the moon, and he could feel the third eye, the snake. He could feel it was Lord Shiva, but when he opened his eyes, it was Vittala. So Narayana Rudro Jayate. Okay, it came from the Lord. 26, he says, 24. Purodasham cha mukhyam mam vidi Purodhasham cha mukhyam mam vidi pata brihaspatim senanim aham skanda sarasam asmi sagara. Of priests, O Arjuna, know me to the chief Brihaspati. Of generals, I am Kartikeya, and of bodies of water, I am the ocean. So these are all different opulence of Krishna. So in 24, he says Brihaspati. Brihaspati is who? Who's guru? And put in the chat, who's guru? Maharshinam Brigu Aham Giram Asmi Ekam Aksharam Yatnyanam Japa Yatnyosmi Stavaranam Himalayam. So very important sloka 10.25. Yatnyanam Japa Yatnyosmi. This is the verse which quotes Krishna is the Yatnya of Japa. Right? The chanting of the Hare Krishna Mahamantra is mentioned by Srila Prabhupada here. Guru of the demigods. Good. Yes. So Brihaspati is nobody but the guru of the demigods. So Krishna says he's Brigu, and he's the vibration of the transcendental Om. Right? He is Om actually. And of sacrifice, he is the chanting of the holy name Japa. So when in Kali Yuga, Japa Yajna is recommended, that's none other than Krishna. Krishna comes in his holy name in Kali Yuga. Right? Kali Kale Namarate Krishna Avatar. Ashwatha Sarva Vikshanam Devarshinam Chanarada Gandharvam Chitaranthaha Siddhanam Kapilo Muni. Of all the trees, he is the banyan tree. Of the sages among the demigods, he is Narada. Of Gandharvas, he is Chitraratha. And among perfected beings, he is the sage Kapila. So Kapila Dev, that's incarnation of the Lord who came as a son of Devahuti. No, Shiva and Krishna is not the same. It is, you can see in the Vishwarupa, there's Lord Shiva also in Krishna, in the sense, it is said, Aham Adirhi Devan, right? So Lord Shiva also came from Krishna. And Krishna, because he's the best among Vaishnavas, the Vaishnavas represent Krishna. So he's a representative, okay? Yeah, he's a Param Vaishnava. So he's the best among Vaishnavas. He's the perfect devotee of the Lord. If you see Rudra Gita, you can see. Yeah, Shiva is one of the Mahajans also, yes. Ashwatha Sarva Vrikshanam Devarshinam Chanarada Gandharvanam Chitarata Siddhanam Kapilomino. That's what I told. This doesn't mean among trees, Krishna's banyan tree. Does that mean Krishna's banyan tree? No. Does that mean Krishna's Himalaya? No. Krishna represents anything great in this world, anything opulent, anything beautiful, anything more knowledgeable, everything represents Krishna. That's his absolute. Okay, so this is representation. Doesn't mean Krishna is ocean, Krishna is Himalaya, Krishna is banyan tree. No. It's Krishna's opulence. Okay. Uchishravanam ashvanam viti mam amrito bhavam airavatam gajendranam naranam cha naradipam. Of horses, know me to be Uchashriva, produced during the churning of the ocean for nectar. O lordly elephants, I am Airavata, and among men, I am the monarch. Okay. So these are different. Anyone know this Uchishrava horse? From where did it come? Yes, Lakshmi Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji, during the churning of the ocean,
Yes.
so Uchashrava and the other treasures came over, and among that was the Dhanvantari also came with the Amrit. So when there was an Asura's fought, and the
Yes. So Uchishrava is the horse that came from the churning of the milk ocean. Good. Yes, Samudra Mandana, right? Ayudanam aham vajram denum asmin kamadu. Rajanas chasmi kandarpa sarpanam asmi vasuki. Of weapon, I am the thunderbolt. Among cows, I am Surabhi. Of horses for procreation, I am Kandarpa, the god of love. And serpents, I am Vasuki. Anantaschasmi nagana varuno yadasam aham vidrinam aryama chasmi yama samyamatam aham. Of the many hooded nagas, I am Ananda, and I am the aquatics, I am the demigod Varuna. And of departed ancestors, I am Aryama, and among dispensers of law, I am Yama, the lord of death. So even Yamaraj represents Krishna, the dispensers of law, right? Prahaladaschasmi daityanam kala kalayadam aham mriganam cha mrigendro aham vainateyascha pakshina. Among the daityas, demons, I am the devotee Prahlad. So does that mean Prahlad is Krishna? No. It just means that he is representing, because he is pure devotee. Prahlad is also one of the Mahajan. So he's a pure devotee. Pure devotees represent Krishna. No, Sakshat Haritvena Samasta Shastri. So in that way, subduers, his time, Kalosmi Krishna is. The beast, he is lion, and birds, he is Garuda. Pavana Pavatam Asmi Rama Shastra Britam Aham Nyasanam Makaraschasmi Protasam Asmi Janami. Of purifiers, I'm the wind. Of the wielders of weapons, I'm Rama. Of fishes, I'm the shark. And of flowing rivers, I'm the Ganges. So Krishna is the Ganges, flowing rivers. So Prabhupada says we should not doubt these, because this is Krishna himself, Sri Bhagavan Vacha. He's saying this to Arjuna. Arjuna took it as it is. Prabhupada's like a devotee, a best devotee should take Bhagavad Gita as it is, not doubting. How can Krishna become this? How can Krishna become like this? No. Krishna says he's that. He's his representative, or his vibhudis or opulences. These are different energies of the Lord, and Krishna manifests in different ways in front of us. So we just accept it. You just have to accept it. That's how a nice devotee is. We don't doubt it. Okay. Sarganam adir antasya madhyam chaivaham arjuna adhyatmam vidya vidyana vada Bravadahtam aham. Of all creations, I am the beginning and in the end, and also the middle, O Arjuna. Of all sciences, I am the spiritual science of the self, and among logicians, I am the conclusive truth. So Krishna is the beginning and the end and the middle. Aham adishya madhyamsya. So everything is Krishna, beginning, middle, and end. Because Krishna was there before creation, Krishna maintains it, and Krishna is there even after annihilation. Aksharan akarosmi dandava samashikashyasa. Aham evakshaya kalo dathaham vishwato mukha. Of letters, he is letter A, and among compound words, he is the dual compound, and I am also the inexhaustible time, and of creators, he is Brahma. So creators, he is Brahma, means Brahma is also, Prabhupada mentions here, among living beings whose creator, Brahma, who has 4 heads, is the chief, and therefore he is a representative of the Supreme Lord, Krishna. Okay, so Brahma is a position. If nobody is eligible to become Brahma, Krishna himself becomes Brahma. Mrityu sarvasharashchaham udbhavaschaba vishyatam kritis shri vakcha narinam smritir meda dridakshama. I am the all-devouring death, and I am the generating principle of all that is yet to be. Among women, I am fame, fortunes, fine speech, memory, intelligence, steadfastness, and patience. So Mrityu sarvasharashchaham, death will take everything from us, right? So that is Krishna, that death. in the sense Kalosmi, right? So for a devotee, Krishna can extend our lifespan so that we do different devotional services. So among women, the feminine opulences like fame, fortune, memory, fine speech, patience, intelligence, all this is given by Krishna. That's a good quality. Brihatsama tatasamnam Gayatri chantasam aham masana margashisho aham rutonam kusumakara. Of the hymns in Samaveda, I am the Brihatsama, and of poetry I am Gayatri, of months I am Margashisha, November, December, and of seasons I am a flower bearing spring. So these are all again different opulences of the Lord. Just know this, no detailed explanations given, just have to understand this as it is, just like that. Vyutam chalayatam asmi tejasvinam aham jayo asmi vyavasayo asmi sattvam sattvavatam aham. I am also the gambling of cheese and the splendid. I am the splendor, I am victory, I am adventure, and I am strength of the strong. Strength of the strong is also Krishna. So we should not be proud of anything. Everything is given us by the Lord. Vrishninam vasudevosmi pandavanam dhananjaya. Muninam api aham vyasa kavinam ushana kavi. Of the descendant of Vrishni, I am Vasudeva, and of Pandavas, he is Arjuna. Now many people ask why Arjuna was selected for Bhagavad Gita, or why among the Pandavas Krishna took Arjuna. So different reasons. Arjuna was having a kind and soft-hearted. He is a friend, a devotee, non-envious. But these are different qualities which Arjuna had, eternal associate, Vishaka Sati. But then Krishna represents also Arjuna. The Pandavas, Krishna says, I am Arjuna. That means he's the representative. Arjuna is a pure devotee. And of sages, he's Vyasa, Veda Vyas. Krishna Dvaipayana Vyas. And among great thinkers, he's Ushana. Dando Damayadam Asmi Nidir Asmi Jigitsatam Maunam Chaivasmi Guhyanam Jnanam Jnanavatam Aham. Among all the means of suppressing lawlessness, I am the punishment, and of those who seek victory, I am morality. Of secret things, I am silence, and of wise, I am wisdom. Yachapi sarva bhutanam bijam tad aham arjuna natat asti vina yatsyan maya bhutam charancharam. Oh, furthermore, Arjuna, I am the generating seed of all existence. That means Krishna is our Prapitamaha. Pitamaha is Brahma, and Prapitamaha is the seed giving. He's the cause of all cause. There is no being, moving or non-moving, that can exist without Krishna. So these are the different opulences that is mentioned. Some of them, just some of them, right? The 40 to 41, he says there is no end of Krishna's vibhuti. Anything opulent, this is what I said. Anything opulent, anything glorious in this world is just a spark of Krishna's splendor. Just a spark. Right? Prabhupada says, like when a brahmachari was looking at the air hostess, Prabhupada's like, if a spark of Krishna is so beautiful, what about Krishna's beauty? Or you see a beautiful rose, Krishna, Prabhupada smells it, especially Vrindavan roses. Did you all smell it? It's like as if rose water is smeared on it. So special. I never saw roses like that in any part of anywhere, because the roses in Vrindavan, it's like very special. The smell is so good. So that smell, when Prabhupada was smelling it, Prabhupada's like, if this rose is smelling like this, what about Krishna who created this? So that's how he sees. So anything beautiful in this world, anything glorious, it's just a spark of Krishna's beauty. Just imagine how beautiful Krishna would be, right? So it's just a spark. Nantosti Mama Divyanam Vibhuthinam Parantapa Esha Tudeshata Prokto Vibhutir Vistaro Maya. Almighty conqueror of enemies, there is no end to my divine manifestation. What I have spoken to you is but a mere indication of my infinite opulences. That's just Krishna's opulences. Just a spark. That's it. Just a spark. Okay. So what Krishna has spoken is but a mere indication of his infinite opulences. There is no end of Krishna's vibhuti. He is unlimited. Right? Unlimited. So having explained his vibhuti individually, Lord Krishna will now speak of them as a whole. Now he's going to speak about the whole. Yat yat vibhuti mat sattvam shrimat urjitam evava tat evava gachatvam mama tejo amsha sambhavam. Know that all apparent, beautiful and glorious creation springs but a spark of my splendor. Just a spark. That's it. right? So we don't have to be really thinking we are great and that is just a spark. Just imagine the whole fire and its spark, it's nothing, right? Compared to Krishna. Atava bhuta buhanetena kimyatena atavarjuna vistaphyaham idam krishnam ekamshena stitochakat. Ekamshena stitochakat. Just 1/4 is this material world. What is the need there, Arjuna, for all this detailed knowledge? With a single fragment of myself, I pervert and support the entire universe. What do you mean by that? 1/4. 1/4 is this material world. So what conclusion can you drive from it? Yes, Shraddha Mataji. Yes.
Mataji, 1/4 is material world and 3/4 is the spiritual world.
Very good. So 1/4 is this and 3/4 is spiritual world. So yes. So why should we know this 1/4? Kanjan Mataji, why should we know this 1/4? Why are we trying to know this 1/4?
Mataji, we could actually know the goal, and by knowing all this thing, we can actually get out of this. And how to get out of this, we have to know our eternal position.
Okay, so once we know, okay, that is one way of putting it. Lakshmi Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji, because we are the fallen souls and we have been given a chance to rectify our mistakes. So if we come to the material world and if we develop Krishna consciousness and surrender ourselves, we can get rid of our past sins and everything, and we can be free from the karmic cycle and go back to Godhead.
Okay. Jyoti Mataji, what is your answer?
Mataji, to spiritually uplift us, to know that what is our real constitutional position, that we are eternal servants of the Lord, and to revive that position.
Hare Krishna, I can't hear you.
Mataji, to revive our lost position, lost constitutional position, that we are eternal servants of the Lord and we are fallen souls and conditioned souls. So we get this realization so that we can work on our defects and our mistakes we have made in all our lives, rectify it, enchant the name of the Lord, and uplift ourselves and re-attain our original constitutional position.
Okay. Yes, Supriya Mataji.
Mataji, we should know because this is not our home. Our home is Godhead. So we have to go back to Godhead. That's why Prabhupada always stressed on go back to Godhead, magazine, all this he has mentioned.
Okay. Ankita Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji, we are all fallen souls, as everybody said. When we thought about our personal desires and expectations, anything away from Krishna, Krishna created a material world for us to enjoy it independently. So his basic opulences are greater and much more than what the material world is. And when we are suffering only, then we remember Krishna.
Okay. I think all have got the chance. Yes. So if you know this 1/4, it's easy to know the 3/4. And then, yes, as you all said, to know the opulences, to understand our relationship with Krishna, Krishna being the Supreme Father. Yes. It's a jail till we know that it's jail. We can't work for it. Okay. So that we can go back to the spiritual abode. Okay. To estimate greatness and vastness of Krishna. Good. Yeah. So all these are different reasons why we should know about Krishna's opulences. Now, Krishna now speaks of his opulence as a whole, and anything majestic, beautiful, powerful creation. Okay, anything, that is all Krishna's splendor. And in this verse, Lord Krishna gathers together all the vibhutis which he did not mention, and one should consider that all glorious objects which are non-different from Krishna is being under the control and is pervaded by Krishna. Okay, so the all pervasiveness of Krishna is mentioned here. He's just a spark. These are all just a spark. Ekam Shena Stito Chakat. Krishna is all pervasive super soul. Okay. The Supreme Lord is represented through the entire material universe by his entering into all things as the super soul. And Lord here tells Arjuna that there is no point of understanding how things exist in their separate opulences and grandeur. He should know that all things are existing because of Krishna entering as the super soul. Okay, conclusion is that Prabhupada concludes by saying, however, one thoroughly studies the different description of the opulence and expansion of Krishna's energy, then one can understand without doubt the position of Lord Krishna. Fix our mind in worshipping Krishna without deviation. This is our goal. Why are we studying all this? So that we understand Krishna's position. Prabhupada's like, Krishna is great, but we don't know how great he is. To know Krishna's greatness of position, so that our mind fixed in Krishna without deviation. So we'll have a quick breakout room. Okay, discuss how hearing Krishna's vibhutis will help you remember Krishna. You have to select 4 vibhutis from verse 19 to 42, any 4, and specifically useful for preaching. Okay, then you just imagine you're going among atheists and Mayavadis and all that, and you're going to preach. Okay, so this is a preaching application, a breakout room, quick breakout room. The 4 vibhutis selected, okay, whichever is you think you can give explanation, and I'll put it in the chat. And how it's going to help you in preaching. It's a preaching application. And preaching in the sense, you need to make that person devotee. So that should be your goal. Okay. Breakout room and come back. And after breakout room, we'll have attendance posted. Okay, so all are back. Manasima and Shraddha Mataji, you can post the attendance link.
Sure, Mataji.
Okay, so by then we'll take the discussion from. So we finished chapter 10. Okay. So 7, 8, 9, 10. So next open book question should be posted by me now. Just remind me someone. So I'll post the second module 2, closed book 2. Okay. Not closed book, open book. Okay. Then after 12 chapters, we'll have a exam. So let's start with room number 2. Who's representing room number 2? You can unmute everyone 1 second. Yes, Kanjan Mataji, you can unmute.
Hare Krishna Mataji. We'll be representing one by one, but I'm giving my take on this. So, Krishna, we can preach to atheists, first of all, by letting them know that Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita 10.32 that I'm the beginning, the end, and also the middle. So, and all the science, today's science, advanced technology, they cannot tell the conclusive truth. But Krishna says that I am the conclusive truth. All the various kinds of books, knowledge, 4 Vedas, and all that thing can explain the Krishna's conclusive truth. Secondly, today's advanced technology or science, they cannot explain death. But Krishna's, we can tell the atheists that, like atheists to tell that there is no God. But Srila Prabhupada also tell in one of the lectures that they will see God as a death. That is compulsory. There's no excuse for that. Like we can give example of Hiranyakashipu, which he was full of opulences. He was very proud of that, but he has to face death at a moment. And why we have to see Krishna and be prepared till that we can say that at the end of the death, the mentality which you have created by practicing all your life will be your consciousness, whatever you prepare. At the time of that, you will be transferred to that body. So we can preach them like this. Thirdly, we can say that the Ganges water, the sun, the wind that we breathe, everything is representative of Krishna only. So the basic strength that we are getting, the specialized strength we are getting, everything is Krishna. Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna. Okay. Yes, Supriya Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Mataji, here Krishna says that he is the super soul living with the living entity. It means that though he has created us and he has sent us to this material world, but he is always with us. No matter what is the situation, he is always with us. And how can this be justified as when we are in deep pain or in deep sorrow, we always think about Lord. So it means that he is present within us, always with us. He will always act as a guide. And Lord Krishna not only represent among the devotees, he also represent among the demons. Prahlada is one such example, who was an excellent devotee, and not only he was delivered, he delivered the entire father Sai also. And he also mentions that his father's strength, like Hiranyakashipu's strength, is the strength. He is the strength of the strength. So he is present in all the opulences that is present. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Okay.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Mataji, may I start?
The Supriya Mataji, okay, it's from room number 2. Now who's speaking?
Mataji, may I? Yes. Mataji, here. 2.
Okay. Huh.
Yeah, Mataji, from the time of our birth till our death, we are given a very good time to worship Lord Krishna. And as fallen soul, we are given an opportunity to go back. So taking analogies and examples from Bhagavad Gita chapter here, 10, we can see that how Lord Shiva, who is the most prominent deity in today's date, everybody prays to him. But ultimately, Lord Shiva is the one who prays to Lord Vishnu. And Prahlad Maharaj, who himself belonged to the, demon clan, still he was saved by Lord Vishnu despite irrespective of his birth. And we can control our senses and use our energies and good senses to create and produce only Krishna-like children. And we can basically, instead of waiting for death and Yama to take us, we can always pray to Lord Krishna, so that at the time of death, we are saved from going back to, into this cycle of birth and death. Hare Krishna Mataji.
Yes, Jyoti Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Hare Krishna to all, Sadhu Pranam. Krishna says that I am the strength of the stroke.
Yes.
So we can understand that no one is equal in strength to him, comparable to him, no one is above him. He says of the sages, I am the Vyasa. That means no one is more knowledgeable than him. He says of the Vedic hymns, I am the syllable O. And he says among all beings, I am the consciousness. And then he even says that that's all I know, Mataji.
Okay. Yes, Prajesh Prabhu.
Hare Krishna Mataji. So if we see in the text number 10.34, Lord Krishna is telling that among women, I am fame, fortune, fine speech, memory, intelligence, steadfastness, and patience. So this verse can be used for those people who say that Lord that in the Sanatana Dharma there are like verses in the Vedas which sometimes is comparing women with some other lower caste people like Shudras, even though the verse may not mean that, they interpret it in that way and they say that. So that time we can say that Lord Krishna himself is using the qualities of a female to show how glorious Lord Krishna is. So that's not so yeah, this point can be used to prove that like they are wrong on what they are telling. So yes, Mataji, this is what I wanted to tell. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So did every room speak?
No, we have
So
room
this is
number
from
one
room
here.
number 2. Okay. Yes, Sonia Mataji.
Yes, Hare Krishna.
Yes.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Yes, we are from room number 1.
Okay.
Yes, here Krishna says we have divided into four of us.
Okay.
Mataji.
Yes, yes.
Yes, so I'm going to speak on the syllable Om. Yes, Krishna says that among all the syllables, I'm the syllabus A, the letter A, and which dominates Om. Yes, so represents letter Om. So Krishna says that in every mantra, we can preach that every mantra, like the Mayavadis or anyone, they will be chanting with the letter Om. Even the demigods, or many mantras are like Om Namah Shivaya, Om Gananam Tva, so Om Bhurvasva Swa. So every mantra starts with the letter Om, and Krishna is there because he is the Purusha who enjoys the yagna. So because of that, and in Maha Mantra we don't have the syllable Om, but we have very name of Krishna there. Very much Krishna is there. 4 times he's appearing there in the syllabus. So in every name, whenever we have any offering to do, without Krishna, without Vishnu, there is no such offerings. Hare Krishna Mataji. Followed by we'll have Lakshmi Mataji.
Before that, let me take an opportunity to appreciate Sonia Mataji. She's taking adults batch now 3 p.m. I just told her take it, and she's like, okay, Mataji. So that it's a nice start to preach. She did kids batch, and now she's doing adults. Pravina Mataji. I was like waiting for a substitute for 6 a.m. teacher was traveling to Vrindavan. So we need 3-4 days a substitute, and Pravina Mataji is taking 6 a.m. adults batch now. So I'm so
Thank you so much for the
proud and
Very, very
grateful that
good.
all
Hare
my
Krishna,
Bhakti
Mataji.
sisters.
Hari Mataji, very nice Mataji.
So let's, so this is an inspiration for all of you. Like just come out of the shell. I know a lot of commitments from your family side and all side. Some of you can be really good youth preachers. I can see Prajesh Prabhu and Kanjan Mataji, Hemu Mataji, Lakshmi Mataji. All youngsters can, Rachaita Mataji, can all, even Shraddha Mataji, come to the youth, because youth is very difficult to come to Krishna consciousness. And seeing you people, they get so inspired. And if you can pull one soul to Krishna, the life is successful. So if you really want to preach, you can approach me. I can just give you a chance for next batch. I know you have a lot of commitments in your academics and all that, so that should not get disturbed. But whenever you feel like you need a break, you need to do, you can always tell me, so that we're giving chance to different teachers, so that we just break their ice, icebreaker, like they have a stumbling block to preach. So once you start teaching, your that confidence level increases. That's how you become a nice preacher. Okay, yes, Jyoti Mataji. Are you done in your group?
Mataji, could I get the opportunity to teach kids? Because
Kids,
I think
yes. You WhatsApp me, okay?
Mataji, thank you so
only
much for the
on Sundays.
opportunity, Mataji.
Thank you so much for the opportunity, Mataji. I was so grateful to you, Mataji.
Yes. And one more thing, Mataji, I've completed 1 year with Mangaluru.
ISKCON
Mangaluru. Hari Mataji. Thank you so much.
You should come to Mangalore then.
Mataji,
Yes,
even I have completed 2 years.
Next year, as soon as I reach India.
I've completed 2 years.
You can meet Prajesh Prabhu, you can meet me. We are all in Mangalore. You can come.
Mataji, I have completed 2.5 years now.
2.5. Okay.
I'm 1 year completed in August.
Nice. Okay, so room number 1, who is going to speak next?
Lakshmi Mataji.
Mataji, may I?
Okay, Lakshmi Mataji, yes.
Hare Krishna Mataji, in the verse text 31, Krishna is saying that I am the Ganges. Ganges is one of the most holiest river, which was brought down by the penance of Bhagirath, and it was held on the matted locks of Shiva. So even when non-devotees or atheists, they, even if they touch even a drop of Ganga, they themselves become pure. So even it's important for devotees or non-devotees, whether it doesn't matter. Even if the Ganga is representing Lord Krishna also himself. So all the devotees and non-devotees, they can, if one drop of water if they can be taken, they can be purified, Mataji. So this is my take on the river Ganges. Hare Krishna, Mataji.
Hare Krishna. Okay.
Hare Krishna, Mataji.
Yes,
among the Vedas, he is Sama Veda. The
Yes,
Sama
Sam.
Veda is rich with beautiful songs played by the various demigods. We can sang these Vedas at midnight also. And amongst the regulated poetry, the Gayatri Mantra, which is chanted by the duly qualified Brahmanas, is the most prominent. Gayatri Mantra is specially meant for God realization. It represents the Supreme Lord. In Gayatri Mantra the Gayatri Mantra is very important in Vedic civilization and is considered to be the sound incarnation of Brahma. Hare Krishna, Mataji.
Hare Krishna. Okay.
Hare Krishna, Mataji.
Yes.
My name, like Prahlada has a Prahlada has prayed out of all the demonic atmosphere. He has prayed Krishna from his heart, and out of all the danger, he has come out from there, and he has remembered the Krishna. So we have to purify like that way in our daily routine. Krishna's to Bhagwan, so we can do like that way. Hare Krishna, Mataji.
Okay, so it's done with room number 1. What about room number 3? Who's speaking? Yes, Manasi.
Mataji, we will all take chances and speak. So
okay.
We are 8 people, so we will speak, each one will speak 2 points, like of one opulence. So first is Praveena Mataji.
Yeah, and me. Mataji, Pravina Mataji and I share the opulence of ocean, which is 10.24. So we'll talk about it. So the ocean is vast and great. It is yet to be explored. We know that 5% ocean is explored by the scientists, and still 95%, which is a phenomenal number, percentage, unexplored. The deep in that. So can we think of the which is not easy for humans to reach, but still we have organisms and everything growing in there. The oceanness of the Lord, that we have not even seen the ocean which is given to us on this earth. Then think of our solar system, which has 8 planets. Then think of the another universe. There are so many multiple universe which is not been explored as yet. We haven't even crossed our solar system. So think how great our Lord is, who has created all these universes, and all. He is so phenomenally great. Where our thinking stops is where Krishna starts expanding and creating. So this, how does it helps me remember Krishna? Because it tells me that how small and tiny I am, infinitesimally small, and how great and great Krishna is. He is there where we haven't thought of, we have not reached, where our intelligence cannot even think of reaching. And how does it help us in preaching purpose? So those who feel that science is great and they do not, science is so great, then how come science has not explored the ocean as yet? Why only 5% ocean has been explored? So the answer is very simple. If you come to our scriptures and read in detail, the Vedas are the source of magnificent knowledge. It keeps revealing. The more you want to know, the more the answers come to you. And believe me, any question you have, somewhere or in some form, you will find some guru, or you will stumble upon some scriptures, and you will get all your answers. So instead of doing experiments and trying to identify the universe, the known universe, or the unexplorable universe, why not refer Vedas and worship our Lord Shri Krishna? Think of his greatness and have little faith and come to Lord Krishna and Krishna consciousness. Over to Pravina.
So Shraddha Mataji and myself, we chose about the ocean, and I was looking at the point of view where anybody who stands beside the ocean and just looks at the ocean, I think anyone gets overwhelmed with the size and the beauty of the ocean, and you're reminded. And you can speak to these people that, the beauty that you're seeing and the sense of overwhelm that you're feeling is basically because it's Krishna. It's just a spark, it's a creation of Krishna. It's just a spark. And Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita that, and of all the bodies, the ocean is the greatest. And he says, I am of the bodies of water, I am the ocean. So that is, the reason why even if a person who is a non-believer who stands in front of the ocean and just looks at it when he's standing at the beach, he's overwhelmed by a sense of some mystery. Everybody thinks about the mysterious nature. How is it created? Anybody tends to think of who has created this beautiful, vast ocean. So I think ocean is a good starting point to talk to non-devotees and get them to feel that, there is Krishna, there is God who has created this, and this vast, beautiful nature is, created by someone. That might help. Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Next is Rajayita Mataji, and then Shubha and Rajayita Mataji and Samir Prabhuji will shortly explain about Prahlada.
Okay, Hare Krishna to one and all present here. So, based on today's topic, so I would like to elaborate on Prahlada Maharaj, who is supposed to be the greatest devotee of Lord Vishnu, even though he had faced so many obstacles on the path of bhakti, especially his father Hiranyakashipu was giving him a hard time, and he was following the first step of the 9 devotional service or Navada Bhakti, that is Smarana, Vishnu Smarana. So whenever he uttered the word Narayana, so his father would get angry and would try to destroy him completely by killing him in the form of bees, his own sister, by making him sit on the lap of his sister, which is celebrated in India as Holika, in Holi. So whatever obstacles we have in the path of bhakti, we should leave it onto the lotus feet of the Lord and move on in our lives. And because Lord is the sanctioning officer, Like, for example, a lawyer sanctions the law. Same thing, Krishna is also a sanctioning officer. Because of Prahlada Maharaja's this pure devotional service, pure bhakti, then only Narasimha Deva had appeared to protect Prahlada Maharaj from his demoniac father, Hiranyakashipu. So whatever, so in everybody's life, there is some of the other obstacles in the form of family members, relatives, and so many friends who constantly, stop us from starting our journey of devotional service. So we should always surrender unto Krishna and do whatever is in our jurisdiction. Hare Krishna. Over to you, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna, everyone. Hare Krishna, Mataji. Like Mataji said, I have similar things. There'll be like in this world, there are like so many Rakshasas like Hiranyakashipu who will always try to divert you from the, what your path is. So like Prahlad Maharaj, you should be constant, you should be motivated, you should be, stable in and affixed to what your goals towards Krishna is. And so Krishna is Prahlad Maharaj. So like Prahlad Maharaj, Krishna says that I'm the best of like all Rakshasas. So there may be a lot of Rakshasas around you, that is in the different forms. But like Prahlad Maharaj, I'll be one who will try to like take, like he was the one who put Rakshasa Kula to means in a better position. So Krishna says, I'm like Prahlad Maharaj. So I'm the Prahlad Maharaj. So please follow this. So this is the best thing, I guess, for the new novice devotees who can go for preaching. Hare
In
Krishna.
fact, I would like to add another point. In fact, in the name of career, marriage, sometimes our family, our friends, they actually pressurizes us by deviating from the path of bhakti. They say that why are you doing bhakti? Isse karke kya milega? But actually, it's not about getting it. It's about an emotional connection that you're forming with our Supreme Father, our spiritual Father, that is Krishna. So we don't get any benefit from it. It forms a connection. The word yoga means a spiritual union between the spiritual and the super soul. That is yoga. And remembering Krishna, we can do all our activities very smoothly. Just like Prahlada Maharaja did. Hare Krishna.
Okay, thank you, Mataji. Next is sun and moon for Dipali Mataji and Shubham Prabhuji. Dipali Mataji will explain the sun and Shubham Prabhuji will the moon.
Hare Krishna Mataji, sorry for interruption. Actually, I'm having a office meeting now. Can I drop?
You can go, you can leave. Yes, yes.
Okay, thank you. Hare Krishna.
Dipali Mataji, you can explain.
Yeah, Hare Krishna Mataji. So I'm explaining verse 10.21, like sun and moon. So among all luminaries shining in the sky, sun is the chief, and sun is the life source of all entire creation, and all living beings survives on the solar energy. And sun is like glowing eye of the Supreme Lord. And the comparison of Krishna to the sun is very appropriate, because as soon as the sun sets, darkness automatically appears and moon becomes prominent, Mataji. So we can explain this point to neophytes. Hare Krishna, Mataji.
Yes, and finally, we will conclude. Me and Chita Prabhuji will conclude with the point Japa Yajya. So I would like to give chance to Achyuta Keshav Prabhuji first.
You start off with it, Mataji, and I'll conclude at the end if required. You go ahead, please.
No, Prabhuji, in the list also we can go first. No problem. Okay, then I'll go first. Only no. So, Japa Yajya. So, in Japa Yajya, what happens, to explain to the Mayavadis, what we can do is, we can take the example of Japa Yajya, which is given in the verse 10.25. Here it said that Yajyanam Japa Yajyosmi. Here Krishna is saying that among the Yajyas, I am the Japa Yajya. So these Mayavadis, they say that meditating on the Brahman, then only we can get liberation. But to make them understand that Japa Yajna is greater, we can use this example which is given in Bhagavad Gita by the Supreme Personality of Godhead himself. So, and whenever we do Japa Yajna, it is also told in the Bhagavad Gita that Krishna likes the most of all the yajnas, it is Japa Yajna. And here he is mentioning his opulence, that he is among the yajnas, he is Japa Yajna. So to explain and convince the Mayavadis that Japa Yajna is greater, we can use this example. And Achyuta Prabhuji can conclude with all the points.
Hare Krishna. Dandavat Pranam Mataji. Hare Krishna to all the assembled devotees. Dandavat Pranam. Well, I agree with everything that Manasvi Mataji had beautifully explained. And yes, when we talk about Japa Yajna, of course, it's about the success stories. I remember in one of the sessions that Aishwarya Mataji, you've spoken about why Bhagavad Gita as it is the only book which is successful, or for that matter, why there are so many varieties of Bhagavad Gitas. Why only Bhagavad Gita as it is written by His Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada? That is because, and what's the proof about it, that it is the original one? Because it talks about the offer that, it doesn't talk about it, but yeah, the evidence is that there are so many people who've accepted it worldwide. And if so many people have accepted it worldwide, it's a clear evidence to anyone and everyone that we wish to shower the knowledge upon, the greatest knowledge showered upon us by the Supreme Personality. The very little knowledge that we have, we could just help them understand about the success stories that we have around the world pertaining to chanting of Hare Krishna Mahamantra. And of course, one of the points that one of the Matajis has blessed me with is about Krishna's dance on our tongue, which is, Krishna dancing on our tongue when we chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra. That, of course, since we are all, in Kali Yuga, we cannot understand that particular part, but we certainly can, feel it when we chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra. I personally would say it's my personal experience. When you certainly get used to chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra, when you're idle, you do nothing but just chant. Even when you're just distracted by doing something else, that's how it is with me. I'm not really sure how it would be with anyone else. I'm assuming the one who's really, chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra more than 16 times a day would certainly feel the same, that the Mahamantras constantly running in your mind. And when it's constantly running in your mind, it's, the mind is controlling the tongue as well. Very simple example that I could also quote is from one of my god brothers who is with Krishna, I'd say, when all of a sudden because of some accident, when he was admitted in the hospital, his probably just maybe as old as Manasvi Mataji. When he was in the hospital bed, we could all just chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra around him. But for a fraction of seconds or minutes, I would say that he was conscious